Hi everyone, this is the Psychic Sleuth, and actually I am going to finally post a reading that I did in 2019. I actually did it June 10th and June 13th of 2019. What was really strange about this reading is so how I first started getting information on this case was I saw the case on Disappeared. I'm going to say that straight out. And I started getting flashes, and when that happens to me, I don't care where I get the case from, I'm going to listen to what Spirit has to say. I waited a while, a month or so before I did the reading, as to not have it lead me. There are things that I got in here that did not come up in that show Disappeared, and also I ended up at the stepdad's mom's house on the map. Without knowing any addresses or anything like that, I ended up there. The only way I found out was through a relative of Katelin's. So there's a reason I ended up there. I don't know how I ended up there, why I ended up there. I ended up there because of clues. I don't know if it has anything to do with where she is. I just thought that was kind of really strange and important that I would mention here. Since then, I keep seeing her case come up, and I keep getting the mention of a river and woods. And that's kind of the flashes that I got when I saw the Disappeared episode. So with that being said, this is Katelin Akens, I believe is how you say her name, and I did this June 10th, June 13th, 2019. So like I said, I really wasn't going to post this reading, but I decided that I needed to, and I actually put this in the group back in 2019 or 2020. But I decided that I need to because I bet there are some interconnects here. After seeing Savannah was found today, which you can see is a long time ago, this was a reference to backyard with a piece of board and buried. I do feel that Katelin is in her stepdad's other backyard, and this is why I thought this was because I ended up at his mom's house. The clues led us right down the street from the battleground in Orange prior to us talking to a relative and getting the address to see how close we were. Thought that was totally mind-blowing when that happened, though. Like, really. I think it's the craziest thing that's ever happened. I've never ended up at an address that was significant like that before without knowing anything. Actually, we had to ask, like, does this mean anything? And we were told, yeah, that's, it's because it's his mom's house. So, okay, the other reason was this is why the whole blowout with my co-host and friend, whatever, I'm not going to go over that. But I do like to usually go in blind. Like I said, however, something comes to me and I'm watching a show like Disappeared, I'm not going to ignore it. And I cannot help it when that happens. I barely remember yesterday. So, like I said, I waited a couple months before I did the reading on this. And when I'm doing readings, I don't remember things that I've seen prior. I only ever tell you what Spirit gives me, either through, visions or what they say or how they make me feel. That's the only time I'll ever say anything. Because as I'm doing a reading, I'm not thinking, I'm channeling. So I am transparent. I just wanted you to know that, how I got the case, since it seemed to be such a big deal. Anyways, since we know how my cases interconnect, I get past, present, and future, and not all will fit this case, one case, or this case. What doesn't fit will fit somewhere else. As we know, they interconnect. I think it's possible that the reason that she interconnects with Savannah is it's possible that there's a yard involved, or at one point there was. Anyways, so we did speak to a relative, and she thought that for some reason that property was interesting too. Now, I'm not saying that's where she is. I don't know if that's why I ended up there, because at the same time I get a reference to river and woods. So she's not very happy. We know, I need to say this real quick. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. This is just for entertainment purposes only. These are only psychic impressions. So she's not very happy. We know it's the stepdad, but I hear my stepdad did this. We trusted him, how could he? And she's crying. I know they have healing on the other side, so it's a weird reaction, but I think she's just wanting to really say how she feels about it. I don't think physically alive she ever left the house. I hear the word lunch, so I'm not sure. Could be time of day, but I also get a feel of early morning and significance too, because I hear birds chirping like they do in the early morning hours, and it seems early. Maybe when she got there. or they're leaving. I don't know. So I'm getting this piercing headache and a reference to horse hooves and stars. It came in, and then my cousin came and I got sidetracked. I don't know. So I feel like he always sort of had a thing for her, and he did a good at hiding his dirty old man side. I mean, no one would really ever want to think or suspect him. I get a reference to darker hair, beard, brown hair. Shows me the house is big, wooden, and lots of glass windows. Also hear the word acreage. I might revisit this again because I feel like I've gotten stronger in the last 2 years. But anyways, so I don't remember the color of the bag found, but I kept saying it was a bluish color roller bag. I see it thrown out of the car later in the day, before that, like strewn in clothes out. But I don't feel like she ever left the house alive. I do know the property was searched, but I kept getting a reference to a river close by, and she's going back and forth because I'm shown her, like, him cornering her for some reason, and then I feel like a point of impact in my head, like the right side. So either I'm hit or I'm made to fall and hit my head. I don't know if there's a rock fireplace, but I kept getting a reference to that, and I kept getting a reference to being strangled, as well as I'm shown why someone's face would look when that's being done to them. So I don't know if she's being strangled after the fall. They did check the house, I don't know, but there was a reference to a rock fireplace for some reason, and something about an earring or a piece of jewelry falling out, also for some reason. And I get a reference to this property, and then a reference to a creek, a smaller creek. I see lots of trees in an open space. The house is shown to me like a round cabinish house, and she says he has lots of money. I think she has a lot of energy. I do see her with another girl, so I feel there's a relationship there, but she states complicated sometimes. I get a reference to trails, and I feel like he did drive back to the property, but not on property. I am trying to see if she's in the water. She says no, but close. I feel he buried her at this time to do so, and so I feel like he was paranoid, taking her body too far in his car. This does not feel planned, but it happened. I see him grabbing her because there is something they got into it over. I do feel, because there's possible rape here, maybe he came onto her and she tried to leave and he grabbed her arm, but I feel my arm being grabbed. She shows me a bit of a unique woman she was, but sweet and smart. There's a reference to a phone call or something, not sure who to, but something to do with a phone. She shows me airplanes. I do remember that she was supposed to be leaving, stating that she never got on one. She's saying he did this. He knows exactly what he did. I feel like they didn't look far enough. Like, maybe may have been close at one point, because I see cops, police dogs, things like that, things of that nature, like within the line of sight, unless it's to validate that it had been searched. So it would be interesting to see if there's a water source like a creek, but I would want to go behind the house, not sure why at that point. The backpack was dropped off after he took care of her, his words. I see shovel and dirt on it, so I feel like he buried her and then placed things on top of her to look natural, like newly buried earth. But at the same time, every time I'm reading, I see a river, so. And they would look on his property. So that's not, it's just she's not on that property, but I don't, not far. Hearing surrounding area. I see a rainbow. I think maybe symbolic for her being into girls in this instance, though. Number 4, maybe because it was 4 years ago, and the mention of 5. If the cops could find me, there would be evidence, I feel, especially under her fingernails, and I do see, like, dirt on them. And earth on her, if they were to unbury her. I also get a reference to a board of some kind over a hole. I feel that all this was in his trunk, and he is putting her, I don't know, interesting. I got a reference to a sleeping bag. I do feel after he cleaned out the trunk, because I'm sure cadaver dog search it, but he had to get somewhere in the car, because he wasn't going to put her anywhere close. But I get a reference to an ATV or something, golf cart with a loud motor. I don't know why. I get a reference to roses. I'm not sure if they're in the yard or not. I get a reference to 18 and a reference to 23. She would be 23 the year that I did this, so I thought that was interesting. I hear something with 3 years, and I don't know why, and also a reference to kitchen counter for some reason. Not sure why either. I believe he went on a cleaning spree, thinks he's gotten away with it. Sandwich and lunch could go together for the time. Sandwich is cut in half. Now the piece of jewelry, I don't know if it was like in a crack or crevice that was missed by him, or them, or if he kept it. But I see it, and I think in the house in the spot, it was not easy to see. I feel like this was out of character for him, but figured he could take advantage of her but caused a fight. Wasn't completely planned, and after he sort of panicked. And why is she showing me a deck if he had one? I don't know. But it's as if he knew a spot. I see cleaning products lined up. I feel that he may have placed her in the evening hours or late afternoon, and I'm wondering if he had garage type area, and a reference to a dark color, like almost reminds me of a dark blue, I think. I see pathways, and I feel sort of forestry or forest type area, but then a clearing. I can sense like a presence of water close by, and I don't know which way north would be, or even how this makes sense, but I heard 10 clicks to the north. But a reference you can get there, like going back behind the house, I think the other way. Get a reference to a hand vac for the trunk, and there's something that he used that either masks the smell of human remains or something, I don't know, coffee. I think that was weird too. It's weird how I actually think I've heard that before, but I see coffee. Don't ask me why, it's weird. So the reference to 5 minutes or 5 miles, I'm wondering why the reference to behind the house. He's definitely guilty. He thinks he's gotten away with it. I see there's a possibility of him behind bars if this is followed. Weird, while I was typing this up, I see a fight in the car, and he turns around to go home and escalates in the house. I kept seeing her hitting back at him. She says something he messed up on. Something, and he knows it. I don't know. I feel like after he dumped the suitcase, which is kind of stupid considering she's supposed to be at the airport, he's smart but messed up somewhere. She keeps referencing back to the fireplace. I wonder if there's one made of rock. I kept seeing it pretty darn clear, and I wasn't really sure why. Maybe her jewelry there too, or maybe he burned something, I don't know. Or maybe it's close to where it happened. Also a reference to his couch. I said, what do you want to say? And I heard, I miss you, Mom. And he's a bastard. So shady. And I feel he may be in some sort of shady dealings too. I see her looking at some type of papers, maybe just to show. She says that's where a lot of his money comes from. Also mentions of real estate. So I don't know if this is his property or he has more, but she says he's such a good liar and remained calm. He was so sure of himself that he would get away with it. He says cops have nothing, and honestly they don't have much. She's a bright young lady, really free-spirited. I hear that slang, pushing up daisies, which usually means buried. I think he either got rid of the shovel or cleaned it really well. Number 45. I don't know what I put here. I don't know. So 12. Hear pony and see hooves running horses. Again, reference to wooded area. I'm guessing this is the next reading. But flowing water as I hear trickle. Number 6, heavily wooded but trail or path and a clearing. And a reference to board again, and I think maybe to cover it and then put dirt on top. I don't know, it came in before, and I'm being shown that piece of plywood. Not too far from home. Letter H, letter P. I did get a reference to her clothes last time. I feel like he held on to one thing, and then I see some strewn about, some like given to Goodwill or something. I don't know. I see a box, but I don't know. Highway maybe with her stuff into it. Like maybe put her stuff in a box. I don't know. Could be symbolic. I get that with moving, but I see him carrying it. Hearing the word psycho, a word she used as part of her personality. I keep wanting to go behind his house. I don't know why, because then I hear 10 clicks north. That's why I'm confused. Then I see a raging river again, and I don't think she's in it or by it. It could be a reference point, but maybe she is. I feel close to a creek or smaller water. The letter K, number 26. Hearing just a quick drive. Knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. I don't know, some reason I kept getting a reference to his acreage, but she's not exactly on the property. I see t-shirts made for her, so I don't know if this happened when she was missing, and I don't know, I see her face on a t-shirt. Number 37. I know 12 is December, could be something else. Number 15 again, showing me orange slices, and I hear crunching when he walks on the ground. See him in work boots, brown. I feel he does some sort of carpentry or something, even if it's on the side. and I see him like on a roof with hand tools. I keep asking her where she is. I think she's trying to show. I see a deer, can be symbolic. I still get not far from his home, not a place well traveled in this specific area, and I see an area where water pools, sort of like a pond or something not far. There are houses in the distance. Reference to purple for some reason, reference to pink, they came in together. She's got a hippish personality, comes off very free spirit, something about a well. I don't know if this is on his property or close to where she is. I keep asking, where are you? I hear not far. I get 6.3 or 6.3 comes in as 6.3. Reference to him getting an undergarment, keeping an undergarment. As this is why I wonder if there wasn't a sexual thing to this. I don't know why I keep wondering if this hadn't happened before and was swept under the rug, because that word molestation came to me even when she was younger, and it may be blocked out by her, or she never told anyone. Maybe she did and no one believed her. Maybe she didn't remember. Something happened that day that was different. Anger, jealousy. I feel very dazed, like I got hit with something or punched. And okay, so I get like he go up this main road and I think he's too paranoid to go far. Anyways, I see him moving up. Then I see a river on my left, and I think then on my right is where she is, but I get a reference to a turn. My throat, my neck is hurting as I'm talking to you guys in the front as I'm reading this, and I haven't read this in 2 years, so I think on my right is where she is, but I get a reference to a turnoff, then an open field type area, but wooded, and there is a long path that goes there and sort of hidden. If you don't know it there, you would miss it. Keeps talking about the right side. River seems to be a reference point, and there like a creek that runs behind that area, some type of little flowing water. A reference to 23. I think he may have thrown the luggage out after, so I think he placed her before the luggage throw. Possibly, I don't know, she keeps showing him throwing luggage, like on the way back, like he dropped her off first, then got rid of the luggage, it feels, because it feels on the side of the road the river is on. But she's opposite side. She refers to him as Jekyll and Hyde, loses it. I think he may have some underlying issues and some sort of, I was getting reference to maybe drugs at some point of some sort. I see camping, like tents, so I don't feel this is far from a camping area. This is an area he knows well. There's a reference to October. I see pumpkins, but I think it's for October. Usually that's my symbol for that. There's also a reference to April and mustard, so I don't know if it's the color or she liked it or hated it. Hearing the word Battlelands, so I don't know if there's some history. We did find an area that was called that, and it's by the house I was telling you guys about. Letter A, name, like Allie or Allie, a part of a name. Reference to R, reference to J. Some sort of brown sign, a reference to G. And she references her glasses. Maybe he kept them or they're broken or something. I don't know. Color green and then bra, so maybe a green bra. And I just hear H, like kind of. There is a mention of a school too. Maybe he's passed or by. And named Frank or Frankfurt, something like that. So remember, and I kind of went through it fast, and I apologize for that. Just kind of remember that some of this is interconnects, not everything's going to fit. I might try to work on this again, since, as you can see, it's kind of different than my readings are now. My readings have kind of developed more in the way that I get information a little more clear, but it also depends on the spirit and how they explain things. So it might be worth trying to do another one. But anyways, I wanted to go ahead and release this because I felt like the information needed to be out, and she keeps coming up. I keep seeing her case, and just she keeps getting referenced in my life, so I feel like it was time. So thank you everyone. I'll see you next time.